Okay. I wanted to talk about a few things today. Let me turn on some Halloween music here. Okay. There were a few things that I really thought about that I wanted to talk about that I have never really talked about live. And this is pre-recorded, so there should be some timestamps. You guys can fast forward, or you can come back to this video. This is just something that I thought about. Now, before I get into ancestor work, which is really important to me, and I want to talk about that, especially for the month of October and Halloween, let's just talk about this new moon eclipse season. Kind of turn this down a little bit. Um, this can be a very intense time. I'll provide a link, down below so you guys can see, what that is doing. It could be a very intense time for some. It's all, your interpretation of how this day is going to go for you or how this particular season is going to go for you. Some people say, it's going to bring in a lot of good luck. I believe that. Some people say, steer clear for doing really heavy rituals at this time, given that we are in a retrograde eclipse season and there's a lot of intense emotions and we're having some people are having issues in their lives, some people are not. I believe it all depends on what's previously going on or currently going on with you right now. So you may want to look up new moon eclipse season spiritual meaning and make your own interpretation, because people are going to say different things all across the board. A new moon essentially is about, new beginnings in your life. But what about the shadow aspect? What about the eclipse part of that? What about the stuff that you needed to work on prior to this? All right. So if you are trying to bring in good luck, that's a good thing. But, have you really done a lot of introspection on yourself, your relationships, where you are right now? Have you really faced that? So we're kind of dealing with two different energies at the same time. But I hope everybody has a good new moon today. I believe that a lot of us have been looking for a breakthrough. We've been looking for good luck. We want good things to happen in our lives. And as long as you want it and you believe it, it will happen. Manifest it. If you are feeling down, if you can get to, some type of function, even if it's only 2 or 3 people, or talk to someone on the phone that makes you feel good about yourself. If you can get some fresh air today, even if it's just sitting on your porch, whatever it is, to kind of embrace this fall season and think about, how you want the rest of your year to go. If that's all you can do, just find something for yourself. Maybe it's sleeping. You just want to get some rest. Maybe it's turning off your ringer. You don't want to talk to anybody today. Whatever it is, go ahead and embrace that part of yourself today. Now, we do have a lot of videos about people blowing cinnamon into their door or into their homes. That's something that you could do. I do believe that it works. On the last video, I talked about burning cinnamon and sometimes sweeping with it. Well, so today I'm actually going to burn some on a charcoal disc. I'm going to burn a bay leaf as well. And I'm going to show you guys how I use this protection oil, which is also a good luck oil as well. So I'll show you how I do that. So the other thing that's coming up for October, Samhain is coming up. All right. And if you guys need to know more about that, you guys could look at different videos. Maybe I'll find somebody spiritual that's talking about Samhain and the importance of it, which is, that comes before Halloween. Okay. And then we have Day of the Dead, or Dia de los Muertos. That's coming as well. All right. So, kind of honoring the dead, honoring people that have passed away, giving offerings and stuff like that. That's a very important day for a lot of people. But the main thing that I really wanted to talk about in this video is ancestor altars and ancestor worship, only from my experience, because you can look this up anywhere, and people would have, different opinions about it, different teachings on it. It's really a personal experience, but I just wanted to share a little bit of my experience and, kind of like certain things what happened to me. Now I do have my real blood family that actually follows, me on social media. And I'm going to do this with as much respect as possible. But when I was going through a lot of things, in my own personal life, especially like with family and close friends, I wanted to start to look into doing ancestor work. And I'll post an old video of when I started to talk about ancestor altars and stuff like that. What I did actually notice is a couple of things. And one of those things, I'm going to turn this music off. One of those things is something that I actually recently saw a spiritualist talk about what happens when she puts her ancestors on her altar compared to what happens when she doesn't do it. So one year I did do this and I asked for help. All right. So let's talk about when I did it and when I decided not to do it. So, and really, it's something that you got to work through and work with for a very long time. It's not something that you turn off, you turn on, you want to try it this time, and then you don't want to do it this time. Why? Because of the results. So what happened with me? This is just me. I know that there are correct rituals and correct, setups and stuff, depending on what people believe in, but this is just my experience. And I want to talk about this now because a lot of people right now are setting up ancestor altars and doing ancestor work and worship. When I set up my altar, my main goal at the time, a couple years ago, was to make things more positive in my family, to kind of come to my ancestors and ask them to work some things out for me, because maybe I wasn't being seen in the correct light, or maybe someone else was going through something that was affecting someone else, and it started to be like a domino effect. And I really wanted to help the situation. Well, a couple of things happened. The first thing that happened was the smell of perfume. And with the ancestor altars, it was more like pictures, food, cigarettes, alcohol, water, different things on the altar that I tried my best. And I started smelling perfume. I started smelling people, like cigarette smoke in my home. I even sometimes felt a presence. So this is something that, I pretty much knew what I was doing was it was working. I was opening up a spiritual realm, or a spiritual part, a piece of the realm, and communication. But I needed to learn the lesson of what happens when I do that. So the first thing that happened is me just, talking to them, speaking to them, and asking them to help me fix problems, or help fix problems, that I was seeing within myself and my family. And at first, it was kind of weird because it seems like everybody got really intense with each other. And the reason everybody got intense with each other is because now things were coming to light. And things were, things were kind of like, being talked about more. Feelings were coming up, emotions were coming up. And, therefore it was almost like everybody kind of was pressed to do this type of shadow work that they weren't ready to do, including myself. And it was kind of weird. So like the next Halloween season, or the next, year after that, I decided not to, do the ancestor work. I wanted to not do it because I saw how much it brought out of everyone. But what I did in between that year, I decided to start maybe more fixing myself and more communicating with my family, finally being listened to. And, it really helped. My behaviors, started to change in a more positive direction. And the reason I'm talking about that part is because we're always talking about breaking generational curses and family curses. Okay, that's fine. But we have to start with ourselves, okay, as the first person, and then we kind of, work with our family members or people or loved ones close to us to try to, see that all the way out. Okay. So that's something that I wanted to do. And it definitely helped. It also helped when I started taking the pictures off of my altar and when I stopped communicating with them. I believe that from the first interaction or communication with my ancestors, that did something heavy. And it was now time for me to work the rest of it out. All right. And so this season, take into consideration if you are in a good place with your family, then you're good. If you come from a family where your mother, your grandmother, your aunts, and your uncles, they do this type of work and it's been done for years and generations, then you're fine. If you're new, like me, who has only been doing this for the past 5 years, then, these are some things you want to take into consideration. The communication, what happens after you communicate. Are you on a continuous basis, or is this something you just wanted to dabble in? And that might not be good. So, you really want to do a lot of research on ancestor altars, ancestor worship. Some people go to cemeteries. Some people just, simply just, ask their ancestors. They do little rituals and stuff. It all depends on the person. Some people cook, big meals, and use, basically cook these meals as an offering to their ancestors. And remember, through all of this, the veil is thinning. All right. So communication is almost going to be instant. Now, some people say it's not good to reach out to our ancestors because we don't exactly know all of them. And I've even heard negative connotations about our ancestors not liking us and stuff like that, and, waking up the dead without permission. I believe it's all up to you. Now, if you guys have comments about those particular statements I just made, please drop them and I will review them and we'll have a discussion there, because what do you think about doing, work like this? Do you think it could be helpful? Do you think it could be harmful? Do you think you're opening up a portal for maybe some ancestors who are not as friendly? Just because you think, oh, hey, can you please, hey, oh, I wanted to give you some food. We got to think about stuff like that. The other thing about breaking family curses, generational curses, there's one thing, when it comes to negativity that I wanted to talk about. It doesn't mean I'm all correct, but this is just from my personal experience. If you have someone that is resentful, judgeful, that wants to disrupt a family connection and wants to throw a lot of negativity within the family to break the family down because they're not happy within themselves, that could be an opening for negativity to come through. Now, last month I talked about, opening up your heart to people and that being an opening for negativity to come through. But when you have a disruptive or destructive family member who may be in their home cursing their family, like literally cursing it out to the universe and saying, I hate now, this type of stuff, that could be an opening for negativity to come through. So, you have to, I want to say for me, there's a lot of protection over people that I love and myself. And, if I can't do anything else, but maybe try to do a lightweight, kind of maybe stop them from, hurting everyone, or, these negative thoughts that can come in and hurt people, instead of learning how to heal and communicate. It could be done, but remember, anything that you do, especially with like family members, it could hit you as well. which means if you're trying to bind someone, and depending on the situation, we have some pretty serious situations in different families all around the world. This, what I'm talking about, is more just like negativity, destructive behavior. This is somebody that could be turned around, but they just don't want to because they're mad and they want to be angry for life. And they want to, maybe attack different family members or cause gossip and slander and, lying and, jealousy and, stuff like that. I'm talking about these type of people. Okay. So, basically if you do anything towards blood, that can also affect you too. So if you're trying to bind someone or stop someone from a certain particular behavior in your family, remember they are related to you, and that is your blood. So that means whatever you're trying to do, all right, to try to fix the situation as far as any type of spiritual work, you need to be the one. So if you're trying to bind someone, you're binding yourself. Okay. So that means that if you want them to stop negative behaviors, you have to stop negative behaviors, if that makes any type of sense. So anyway, the ancestor altars are very interesting. There was one girl online that said that, sometimes when she puts the cups of water on her altar, after maybe a few hours or a couple of days, she can see a lot of bubbles on the glass. And that was, kind of the ancestors or the spirits being pleased or happy or content about the work that you're doing with them. Well, let's talk about water. Why water? Okay, water and alcohol. Not only is it an offering, but it's also a way to communicate with spirits, especially water, glasses of water. And it's like you're opening up that communication with water. It's something that is, a lot of people say, yeah, right. But actually, no, it's true. It's true. As soon as I started putting glasses of water, next to the pictures and the food and the this and the that, a lot of different, activities started happening. And I needed to learn what was proper and what wasn't. And, if you do ancestor work and you start noticing things going into flux and people are, maybe going into their shadow work more than you expected to, and now you're like, oh my goodness, you're like, okay, then, you need to learn from that. And some people may start being a little more loving towards you as well. It all depends on the person. All right. So, just be aware when doing ancestor work or ancestor worship, it's really nothing to play with. To be honest, we're talking about spiritual work with people who have passed away, giving respect to those who have passed away, but also don't have high expectations with this. Some of our ancestors we knew, some of them we did not know. Some of them, are pleased with our work. Some of them may not want to be bothered. And I'm just going to say that. I know people are going to be like, what are you talking about, Artie? Well, I'll put in the video down below, like I said, of when I first started talking about ancestor altars and stuff like that. And, it's just something that we need to be aware of for this season. All right. Now, what I'm going to do actually, and to be honest, whatever type of spiritual work you do today, just be thoughtful of the fact that we're in eclipse season. The veil is thinning. We have a new moon. And just be aware of what you want. And then your behaviors and your actions after that is what really counts and what really matters. Okay. So like I told you guys, I get a charcoal disc. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and light this. All right. And there's different things you could do. I've seen people put cloves on charcoal discs to stop slander and gossip. I have also used camphor on charcoal discs. Now, camphor will clear some stuff out. All right. Camphor will literally clear out your whole entire environment. It is that strong. So if you use camphor, I would say probably open up the windows and the doors and be prepared for a very strong, potent smell. But if you have like tons of negativity happening and you want to try this, get a charcoal disc. You can put, a square of camphor on the charcoal disc and literally just clear everything out. All right, just clear everything out. What's another thing you could do with camphor? When you brush your hair, this is something I've talked about with friends. When you brush your hair, and I've done spells also with camphor, you brush your hair, you take the hair, you kind of wrap it around the camphor and then put it on the charcoal disc for protection. All right. So that's something else you could do. But today, I'm going to go ahead and take some of this cinnamon. Like I told you guys, I'm going to put it on a charcoal disc. So I'm going to do that right now because today is the new moon. I want to bring in good luck. All right. And this is something you could do at home. Also, using bay leaves. Bay leaves are good. Bay leaves are good. You could write whatever you want to write. Use a Sharpie. Write whatever you want to write on the bay leaf. If you want to bring in good luck, hey, whatever it is, I'm just going to write good luck. You guys can look up videos about people writing on bay leaves and burning them. So what I'll do is I'll just light a little candle here and I'll go ahead and burn my first bay leaf for today on the new moon. All right. So that's something I'm going to do. All right. And I'm going to drop that here and let the rest of that burn on my charcoal disc with my cinnamon. And the other thing is, if you have any type of good luck oil, this is a protection oil, but it also brings me good luck. I'll just show you something that I do, which this is the first time I've ever shared this. And this has like cloves. It's like clove scented and it has citrus and everything. And this is a roll-on. If you want one of these, let me know. Email me and I'll try to, see if I can get some more and mail it to you. I'll let you know. But what I'm going to do is just take this, rub it on my hands, and then rub it on my spiritual bracelets. The reason I do this is actually all of these mean something for me. But I want to do that because I want to have some type of protection, some type of good luck on me all the time while I'm going throughout my day. And there is also a way to put oil on your wrist and ask for, anything negative to leave and all, good things, positive things to only come in to your space and your aura and your life. Okay. So that's something really quick, really easy that you could do. So hopefully this has made sense. And hopefully this can get you going for the October season. And, as the month goes on, we'll talk about more. But I think for right now, this is a good start. So let me go ahead and put those links down there and you guys can reach out to me. I will put my email and my contact in the description as well. This is Artemis Lore with the Coven page. Bye.